Oh, sugar. Great, now I've got like nothing.
Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Hi ladies! Okay, so today I'm going to be doing your assumptions on me, and oh my god, you guys did not hold back. If you guys haven't got me on Instagram, then go and follow me. All my links are down below in the description box. But basically I put like a little question out and you just filled in the little box and then it sent it to me. But I didn't know how to read them all, so what I did was I just screenshotted all of the notifications and then I'll just read them to you as they come. And honestly guys, you did not hold back. Like, some of the things that were written, I was like, oh, that is coming very close to something I wouldn't answer. But of course I'm going to answer it for you guys because that's just me. Sam Lewis said, my assumption is that you and Matt have such an honest and open relationship. Yes, that is very, very true. We never go to bed on an argument. We always kiss each other and say I love you before we go to bed. We never go to bed angry at each other or anything like that. Anything that happens, like for example, if he bumps into his ex-girlfriend or if I, you know, whatever, we always, not that it really matters, but we just say like, oh, guess who I saw today? And you know, I guess you just got to have like a really good memory if you are going to be a liar, and we're not that good, so. Nikki Suter said, I assumed you wouldn't answer my private message, and now 3 years later I am lucky to have you and your boys in my life. Yeah, literally. She private messaged me and she was like, oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh my god, I think you are. Literally 3 years later we're still like best friends. Stephanie Fielding says that you're a nurse. I'm not a nurse, I am a healthcare support worker. Gemma Robinson said, you panic a lot and seem to make decisions based on how you're feeling and don't think about it. You're an amazing mum and I love watching your videos. Super excited to see your pregnancy updates. Thank you. Yeah, I do panic a lot and I do make decisions based on how I'm feeling at the time. And I actually read a couple of these and it gets more in depth, so I'll carry on and we'll get to that in a minute. Tracy Brooks says that you're too hard on yourself. Yes, definitely. It was quite funny actually this morning. So Charlie hates having his hair cut, and whenever we take him anywhere he just screams and he's so distressed. And I did an Instagram story on this actually because he loves Jaffa cakes or chocolate cake or anything like that, and I never thought to put the two together and like bribe him and be like, oh, would you like a Jaffa cake? And I never thought that bribery and corruption would get there, but it literally worked. And I cut his hair and he didn't scream and he didn't get distressed, and he was looking forward to that Jaffa cake and he was amazing. And I was like, why did I not try this before? Nicola Bradbury Hulls says, I think sometimes you make decisions when you are bored and then realise later down the line it was the wrong choice, or you start projects with an idea of finishing but never do. I think I just explained myself. Yeah, I tend to do that. I tend to think like something's a really good idea and then I like spend loads of money and then it's like, maybe not. Yeah, and Louise Burst says, you sometimes make decisions without thinking them through properly. Yeah, I do that. I think that's why Matt and I work so well together, because he can see from the outside looking in how I'm feeling, and he always brings me back round to normality, and he's like, no, this is just how you're feeling at the time. In a few weeks' time, you're not going to feel like that, etc. Cecilia Fair says, I assume you wear the trousers, so to speak, in the household when it comes to making decisions. Okay, so this is actually an interesting one because Matt and I have actually got a really, really balanced relationship. So for example, if we're going to spend a large amount of money, say for example, like over £1,000, we'll always say to the other, I need to make this purchase, just to let you know this is what I'm going to go for, is that okay? And I guess that's nice because then if something just turns up on the doorstep that costs like so much money, oh my god, you did that without saying anything, it's a bit of a shock to the system. So what Matt does actually, which is really cheeky, he tells me that he's already bought it, waits for my reaction, and then if it's not too bad then he'll go and buy it. It's a bit naughty. But no, I'd say like if I was to overstep the boundary, he would like put me straight back in my place and he'd be like, absolutely not. Which is what, it's nice because we've got like such a balanced relationship, but most of the time he's just doing stuff out of cheekiness, so no, it's alright. Kelly Mousey says, you are sometimes hard on yourself, but you are a really good mum to your boys. Yeah, I am really hard on myself, and I hope I'm a good mum to my boys. I try my best. So Vicky Cooper says, I don't assume anything, I just think you are lovely, really easy to watch, really down to earth, no shits given, 100% family first, and can't wait to see what's in store for your little family. Thank you, that's really sweet. Laura Bicknell says, I assume you live for the now and rarely think about far into the future. What? Everyone keeps assuming this about me. Maybe it's true. Eileen O'Leary says, I think you're a great mummy and love with all your heart, and at the end of the day that's all that matters. Yeah, that's totally right. Flora Farrell says, honestly I assumed that you were more on your appearance, but then I found out that you work and look after your babies, and like all the rest of us struggling to get through life and juggling responsibilities, I credit you for being so honest about your crappy side of life. Makes parents feel like they're not alone and takes a lot to talk about it. Exactly, that's why I do this channel, guys. I'm a very honest and open person, and a lot of people will be like, oh, that's really controversial, but really I'm just saying what you guys are thinking. So, and I'm the one, I've got the guts to say it, so I've got the platform to do it, so that's why I do it. Kirsty Whiting says, you worry too much about what others think of you. You know what, I've got better with that. I've got a lot better with that. I did like a CB, is it called CBT? Like a cognitive behavioural therapy thing, where I would like go to Asda and Harry would start crying. This was when he was a baby. And they would be, I would think that like everyone that was looking at me was like, oh my God, she's a really young mum that can't cope and all this. But really, that's just assuming something on someone else, when really they may actually be thinking, oh my God, I remember when mine was that little, I remember taking my little one shopping and what a nightmare it was, and wow, she seems to be doing really well, even though, you know. So I always thought the worst, and actually it's not always the case. Like when I go to Asda, I don't automatically think, oh, she's not coping very, oh, she's not doing, oh, your child's screaming, that means that you're not coping. Like, absolutely not. Kids are going to play up in the supermarkets. They don't want to go shopping. They hate it. And if they don't get the sweeties at the end of the till, right at the end of the shop, then they just absolutely lose it. All kids do that. Lauren Cole says, you're 100% honest and open and transparent with everything. You want to help get rid of stigmas behind certain things that mums go through, for example mental health. Absolutely, that's exactly why I do this channel, like I said before. And I love that you guys, you know, give me feedback and things. It's really nice to hear your guys' opinions. But yeah, I am just me. Kirsty also says, you start things and rarely finish them. What? What is this? This is like, I think these are getting a bit of a theme here. Kaz Pike says that you're quite wealthy, not sure why, but you definitely seem more middle class than working class. Hopefully I don't offend you. But I'm quite wealthy. We don't struggle for money, and I'm going to go on to a question in a minute that's very cheeky. But I'd say we don't, I don't know, I'd say I was quite careful with my money, but then other times I'll be like blowing it all on, you know, a jacuzzi and things like that. So when we go shopping, we don't tend to just get whatever we want. We kind of look, like for example, I wouldn't buy a steak for like £20 because that's literally just one meal, and it just seems like a lot, do you know what I mean? And we've really cut back on takeaways because of course they're about £30 for a takeaway. And we always order twice as much, so then you can have some the next day. So it's sort of about 15 quid each day, but that's still quite a lot of money just on a meal. So we tend to be a little bit more careful with like our food budget and things like that. So rather than getting like the own branded like Frubes and stuff like that, we'll get like Asda's own tubes or whatever. We'll get like the frozen desserts instead of the chilled desserts because they're literally exactly the same, they're just frozen, and things like that. So we don't tend to buy like a lot of fresh meat and a lot of fresh vegetables, things like that. It's all kind of frozen, which is a lot cheaper, and then it's also less waste as well. So, but going back to the wealth thing, I guess we're comfortable. I mean, I work 2 jobs. I've got my YouTube job, work for Channel Mum, and then I also have my other job. I'll go into kind of a little bit of how much I earn in a minute, but yeah, working 2 jobs, you know, it's nice because you've got that little bit of extra cash, and Matt works full time. So that was on the Rainbow Babies page. This is now going on to the Instagrams. I assume that you're really dramatic, but I love you though, and I'm always dramatic too. Yeah, I am quite dramatic. If ever I hurt myself, I'm like, oh my God, look. That was by Cat Mary Grace. Becky JG93 says, I think that you always stand up for yourself and not afraid to say what you think. Absolutely. Becky Squire says, you want a girl this time. Yeah, I think I'd be happy she getting through the trimester of each, you know, so like I'm coming up to my 2nd trimester now, which is amazing, and I never thought I'd get here. But if I was allowed to choose, then I would sway towards a girl, which we have swayed towards a girl this time, so maybe. Shannon Heidi says, you're genuine and live a balanced lifestyle. Yes, I hope so anyway. LA Coft says, you're an amazing normal mum. I am a normal mum. I'm completely normal. There's nothing special that what I do to what you guys do. It's exactly the same. Yeah, that account. You guys have got some funny names. Love watching your videos. Thank you so much. Lily94 says, you're brutally honest. I am brutally honest. Hayley Waltham says, you hate haters. I do. I don't have any time for them. They are absolutely ridiculous. And it makes me laugh so much when I get hate comments, because it's like, you see like such a small portion of my life, of what I choose to show you guys. And you don't see like a lot of like day-to-day stuff. So to judge on such a small amount of footage to represent my whole life, it's not very accurate. So Katie Bishop 97 says, you've chosen your baby names already. Yes, we have. We don't have a middle name for the boy, but we have a girl's name and we have a first name picked out for the boy. EmilXAA.K says, I assume you're a wonderful mummy with a heart of gold. Thank you so much. Rachel Davies says, you're a real mum and don't portray a fake perfect life. Home and kids. Love from Wales. Thank you. No, I don't. I don't portray to be this perfect parent at all, because there are times, especially in the beginning of my pregnancy, where I literally just laid in bed and had Charlie next to me with an iPad, and I had Harry, you know, playing on his PlayStation. But the thing is, they earn it. So for example, Harry will tidy his room and push our little, we've got like a little cordless hoover that it's light enough for him to push. So he'll put all his books on his bookshelf, he'll like chuck his duvet on his bed and pyjamas on the bed, clean clothes will go like in a pile, and then he'll hoover and just keeping his room tidy like that shows that, you know, he's being responsible, keeping the hamsters clean and keeping the fish fed. So he earns his PlayStation, and we use it as a treat. So for example, in the mornings, he's only allowed the iPad for, and it's literally for like half an hour whilst he's eating breakfast before school, because at the beginning of the morning we do a spellings test, we do reading a book, and we do a little bit of writing, because that's just things he needs to practice for school. So if I'm not working, he'll come into me at 7 o'clock with, you know, 3 different books. One will be spellings, one will be reading, one will be his writing book, and he'll do all of that, and he'll take him probably the good portion of an hour, especially the writing bit, because he's a lot slower at that. So we sit in bed together and it's really nice, and Charlie will just play with his bricks and stuff in his room. He'll be happy just to play by himself. And then after that, he'll get changed all by himself. He'll go downstairs and he'll say, have I earned the iPad? And I said, yeah, because you've done really well in your spellings. You know, you got over 6 out of 10 or whatever. So yeah, you can have the iPad for half an hour. So then he has that whilst he's eating his breakfast, and then he'll go upstairs, brush his teeth, get his coat and shoes and bags and lunch and all that all together, and then we go out the door at 7:45. So sometimes he'll help with his brother's lunchbox. He'll like bring all the bags to the front door. So he's really, really good, and he does earn it. But yeah, I do let my kids go on the iPad and the PlayStation. I wouldn't want them to miss out on stuff like that. So Kirsty 1044 says, you worry about things a lot, you're sensitive and show your emotions. I do worry. I've got better now. I'm on like my happy pills, which I have been on for a couple of years now, and my doctor said that it was fine for me to be on them whilst I was pregnant. But yeah, I am, especially when I'm pregnant or like due on my period or something, like I'm very sensitive. So if, you know, a hater catches me off guard when I'm having a bad day, I'm a bit like, oh, that's really sad, and that actually is like a little bit true, and it's a bit sad. But a lot of the time I just like fob it off because it's just like a load of nonsense. Sophie Retelick says, you enjoy going under general anaesthetic. I do. I find any excuse to go under general anaesthetic. And it's funny because when we went for our 8.5-week scan with this baby, the lady that was scanning me happened to have the same love for going under general anaesthetic. I was like, yes, I'm not the only weird one. 21Cat90 says, you would love to have a girl. Yes. Lani Louise says, you have a pretty good self-esteem but do have difficult days. Yeah, I find that confidence is incredibly sexy. You can look however you want, but if you have that confidence... Boys, stop fighting! If you have that inner confidence and it shows, then that is the most attractive thing that you can ever portray on your body. Emily Barrow says that you want a girl with this pregnancy. Yeah, similar. Paigey Jojo says, you're proud of your mum tum. I don't know if I'm proud of it, I guess, because it's carried my babies. Yeah, I'd say I would actually, yeah, because I carried my babies, and also I love eating donuts and chocolate brownies. So she also says, I assume you're a party girl with friends, but with your boys you're loving and sensible. That is very true. It's not like I have two sides to me. It's not like I'm Katie Price and then Jordan. Like, it's not like that at all. When I go out, you know, I've worked hard all week and I've spent time with my boys during the week, and on a Friday night, if I wanted to go out after my 12-hour shift, I would go out with Abby and we would party hard, and then at about 11 I'd just drink loads and loads of water, and then after that I would sober up. I would come home at maybe 1 o'clock, sleep till about 7 or 8, and then I'd be up with the boys playing. So yeah, I did party hard, but then I do play hard as well. Nicola Smith says, you're a strong character and you don't put up with negative people in your life or care about their opinions. Yes, that is exactly right. If someone's going to be nasty to me and disagree with the way that I parent, then they're just out of my life, because I do not have time for people like that. Kaylee Hay says, are you going to find out the gender of your baby, and if so, will you be announcing it on YouTube? Yes, I will. Tisha Lewis says, you are a superwoman and always on the go and doing something. That is definitely correct. Oh Hi Jilly says, someone who is full of life and is such an inspiration to me. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. And the final question, which is probably the most cheeky one of all. Ben Jones says, and by the way, I used to go to school with Ben, you're making loads of money through YouTube ads. Now, I can't tell you the actual amount that I earn through YouTube ads. It's in the hundreds, but I can't actually tell you the exact amount because the contract that I sign with YouTube means that I can't divulge information like that. But yeah, I do earn money through YouTube ads, and I also earn money through working for Channel Mum. Obviously I work super hard, and I think that the amount that someone earns for their job should be personal to them, really. And like, for example, I would never ask you guys like how much you earn. So yeah, it's just one of those questions really where you kind of almost overstep the mark. We're gonna come say hi to the ladies. Yeah, I dropped my juice all over the floor. Come sit down. Say hi, ladies. Say hi, ladies. Good boy. Can you say yeah?
Yeah.
Can you say no?
No.
Good boy. That's the 2 new words. What noise does a cat make?
Meow.
Good boy. Good boy. Look at your fringe. Oh, I've cut it. Oh, it's all right, isn't it?
Meow.
Meow. Good boy.
Meow.
Harry, are you going to come say hi quickly before the battery runs out? I need to charge it. Are you wearing my slippers? Oh my goodness, what have I done to your fringe? The back of your hair looks right though. Come back. Good boy. Look at my boys. Wave, everyone wave. Yay! I do hope that answers all of your questions. If I missed any, I'm really sorry. Please leave the comments down below and I'll answer them in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to me for free to follow my journey. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, ladies.